Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Straight Talk. We're here at our usual spot in Istanbul with John C. Alvarez. John, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
How'd you like Istanbul?
Oh my God, it's great.
How many days you guys are going to spend in Istanbul this trip?
This trip, we're here for a week.
A week?
Yeah, for about a week.
I mean, for people who are not familiar with you, we have actually filmed an episode with John and his wife back in Florida. It was through a Zoom call, I think.
Yeah, we did a Zoom call.
And you know, if you guys have not seen that episode, and I would like you to introduce yourself, your journey, and why you're here, and why we're basically talking. You know, who John C. Alvarez is.
Well, okay. I'm one half of the equation. The other is my wife, Stephanie.
Right.
So she's accompanied me as well. We did a video probably about a year and a half ago from our home in Florida. And we were talking about our journey going through PropertyTurkey to purchase property outside of our home country and take advantage of the CBI program that you had. And I think we've been very fortuitous in doing so. When we did, we caught the market just at the right time, just before they raised the fees necessary for the CBI program.
The CBI from 250 to 400, right?
And
you came in at a point where the prices had just started going up.
Yeah, we caught that. We kind of cooked it right there, and we pulled that fish in, and it's taken us to a nice place right now where the capital appreciation has certainly surprised us. Right. Although they're unrealized gains at this time, yet still, if we wish to exercise on that, we do very well on there. And we're also here to look at the property after it was finished. We have an agreement with the New Inn to rent the properties out, and the service, the after service people here?
The after sales people.
After sales.
So
they're fantastic. I'm jumping all over the place.
Right.
Huh?
No, you're going through the whole cycle, the entire process of a client journey. Obviously, we're going to talk about your journey because you are a client who has completed the journey from A to Z. But if I am to start from the very beginning, how did the idea come to be? Why Turkey?
Well, it comes down to history. When we were looking to a place to go on our 10th year anniversary, where do we want to go? And everyone wants to go to Hawaii or they'll go to Dubai. A lot of people are going to Dubai now, but Turkey is one of these places where everyone says, "Oh yeah, Istanbul. Oh yeah."
Exotic,
why not there?
authentic.
It's a lot of stuff, and once you get here, you say, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
The Bosphorus, the Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque, the cisterns, the Belgrade forests, sister islands, anywhere you go, it's just the food. Oh my God, the food is so good.
You like Turkish food?
Oh, it's great. I'm still looking to try kokoreç.
Kokoreç? You never tried kokoreç?
I never tried kokoreç.
Do you know what it's made of?
Yeah, I know what it's made of.
What is it?
It's sheep intestines, innards, lots of tomato spices. Aji, baharatli, that kind of stuff. And
I love it.
Chopped up and everything.
I love it.
And I want to try it. I got to go.
It's interesting. We got some interesting food here, but Turkish cuisine is obviously a very diversified cuisine, and just like I said, it all comes down to history. I mean, when you look at the empire who governed these lands, I mean, it was the Roman Empire, the Romans, and which later became the Byzantine Empire, which controlled the entire area that we call Turkey right now for over 1,000 years. Yeah. And then there was another empire called the Ottoman empires, and both these empires had a huge influence in the neighboring, territories and countries and cultures around, such as, a lot of the food came from the Levant, some African and Indian influence over it, some Russian influence, some Balkan influence and everything. And there you have the mix of what is called the Turkish cuisine, which often becomes a subject to debate. The Armenians say, oh, this belongs to us, or the Greek says that belongs to us, and everything. And I'm like, guys, it's just
a region, right?
It's the region. I mean, we never invented anything. We just institutionalized what you guys already have.
I think you invented Iran.
Did we?
The yogurt, the drink with the salt in it and stuff.
Iran,
They need to sell that back in the U.S. It's really good stuff too.
You like it?
Yeah, but we don't have it there. I've never seen it over there. Maybe I wasn't looking for it.
Maybe in the Turkish restaurants.
But I'll tell you, that stuff is good. If you like yogurt.
I like yogurt. I like Iran. I'm just not sure if it's 100%. Well, I mean, that was one of very few things that the Turks are proud of, aren't they? I mean, it's just, we invented yogurt in Iran. That belongs to us. Well, that's such a great invention. I love yogurt. I love Iran. I love Turkish food and Turkish cuisine. But are you saying that, cultural aspects of Turkey have motivated you to come here?
Well, I think, like I said before, the history of Istanbul, the apple.
Yeah,
it's that one place that everybody wanted.
Right.
Whoever controlled it, they controlled, the diversity of cultures, the spices moving from one place to another.
The trade routes.
Yeah, religions, all kinds of things occurred here, and so it's got a really deep history. And I wanted to feel it while we were here. Everybody wants to go to Istanbul when they remember Istanbul, because everyone forgets. It's this hidden jewel that no one really knows about anywhere else. That's my experience. And so when I thought about it, I said, yeah, that's the place to go. And so we started researching it, finding out about it. And we listened to, I have to drop, Nomad Capitalist.
Nomad Capitalist?
Yeah, he's always talking about second citizenships and this, that, and the other thing. And he mentioned Turkey once, their program. And I said, let me look into that. And as I did, Property Turkey came up. And so I called after discussing it with my wife, and because she's the boss. And
I know.
And they, I got in touch with Basil.
Yeah.
And he's been fantastic through the whole process. I'd like to think that we developed a friendship through it. We're actually here as well this time to celebrate his wedding that he just had with his wife, Inez.
Right.
So it's nice. I'm sorry we weren't here for the actual wedding itself, but
well, I mean, it's such a great thing that you guys can build such a bond over, tens of miles away through a deal. But I mean, that deal, when you look at our deals, the kind of deals that we do, selling properties, technically that is what is happening, selling properties. But when you take into consideration all the time you guys have spent,
you build a relationship.
You build that relationship, and those people would be your first contact points when you come to Turkey. Like, Basil, which hotel do you think I should stay in? Basil, I'm going there, this area, what do you think I should eat? Shall I go to the South Coast? Which city I should visit? What to do? Shall I rent a car and stuff like that? So all of those things, and you build up that relationship, and I'm really happy that happened with you.
Yeah, it was almost a year before we actually met, and then it was like, hey, we're just like instant friends. There you go.
That's great. That's perfect. Could you please talk to us a little bit about the payment mode that you guys have been through? Because you guys are crypto investors, right?
Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to diversify, because we were, like I said, we look at trends, and we noticed that a big trend was cryptocurrencies. Back in 2009, where the first white paper was written and presented for Bitcoin, we started researching it, and it was a couple of years later that we said, let's invest a little. Luckily, we did. And so from there, it grew, and we invested in other forms of cryptocurrency. And it worked out very well for us. So when we decided to purchase, we said we were going to buy cryptocurrencies. It's one of the things that was offered. So Basil and I, we talked over and over again how we're going to do it, which way would be the best form. And we figured, let's use stable coin, US dollar coin, to do it. And it was all set to do that, but it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out.
How did it work out?
Well, they wanted us to send the cryptocurrency, and then from there, had to exchange it into lira, and the exchange rate was at a much higher level than I wanted to spend. I said, no, that's ridiculous. So once that happened, we had to revert back to the old SWIFT system, and we just sent a wire transfer.
Yeah.
And it went through smoothly. Look, there was no problem with any of it. Whether we went crypto or not, you guys were bending over backwards to help us get our deal done.
Right.
And when we changed our mind as to how we were going to send the money, we did that on the fly, and you guys compensated. And it's like, we're a soccer team where I'm passing you the ball, and I might kick it to someone else all of a sudden, and they got it though. They weren't surprised by it.
Well, thank you very much for that. And let's talk about the properties that you have bought. If it is not too personal for you, would you like to disclose, if you wouldn't want to disclose the location or the specific properties that you want, that's completely okay.
I won't tell you what floors they're on. Okay.
No, don't tell me the floors and exact unit numbers and everything. But talk to me about the concept of the properties that you bought, its own location, and why you guys invested.
Well, you've got a thing going on over here. It's called the Financial Center.
Istanbul International Fund.
We looked at the financial center and we said, is there anything nearby the financial center? And at first, we were thinking of a lifestyle property. So we looked in Çengelköy. Is that how you say it?
Çengelköy.
Çengelköy. Okay.
Çengelköy.
I'm always saying it wrong, right?
No.
Financial center.
It's cute.
It's finance center.
It's finance center. It's Çengelköy.
Çengelköy.
Yeah.
A beautiful place there where you could see the Bosphorus from. But last minute, it was like, I'm not sure if we want that one. And Basel pointed us towards some investment properties instead. I said, well, let's look at that. And we looked at a few. And there was this new unit coming up that we saw. And when they took us up to the top floor, and I looked out towards where the university is, the financial center is in that, in that vein. One side's the financial center. The other side is the university. The view was spectacular, and it was like, wow, this is it. And so whether we lived in there or not, it was a really great place. And it was right near the financial center. And the financial center is supposed to be up and running 2023, 2024. What a perfect time.
Of course. And you guys came in at a very early level, prices wise.
Yeah, that wasn't finished. It wasn't finished yet. And we did a lot of negotiating. I don't think they liked me very much. But at the end, we all shook hands, took a picture, had some tea. It was great. And we came up with a really good deal.
Are you happy with the deal?
Oh, yeah, I was really happy. I'm happy. It wasn't long before we were able to get another deal to rent them out. Right. And so that's being taken care of there. And the capital appreciation now is nice, so that in a couple of years, when we decide to maybe divest ourselves of it or hold on to them, the option is available. It's there.
To liquidate the assets.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to hear that you're happy with the property and your entire selection and everything. Talk to me a little bit about process or events that unfolded after purchasing the property, sort of like the after sales part of it.
Well, after sales, I wasn't sure what was going on, but I was contacted on WhatsApp. And it's kind of neat that you use the WhatsApp to communicate back and forth. It makes things very easy. We got in touch with Alpay. He was really great. He set us straight. He said, here's what we'll try to do. If you want to do it, everything is if we wanted to do it. And he made all our expectations come about.
What stage is it at now? Is the property's been delivered?
They've been delivered. They're rented. We have a contract with rental with New Inn, I think they're called. Mm-hmm. They have a huge network with all different kinds of rental communities, anywhere from Vibrio to what's some of those other ones, Airbnb, whatnot, that kind of thing. So we actually found the ads for them. And I think our actual units were in some of the pictures there that we saw.
Good.
Because when we went to go look at them, it was them. It was what
Right.
we saw there. So we took pictures and
Yeah.
we said, hey, this is nice.
John, are you happy with all the process and the purchase and the properties and everything? Would you say that, good God, I'm really happy that I've done
Oh
this?
yeah, yeah. There's no regret whatsoever in our property purchases. There have been some hiccups along the way. Our main focus when we started was to see if we could get a citizenship by investment.
Right.
And so we're still in the process there. It's taken a little bit longer than we anticipated, but like I said, hiccups along the way.
Right.
So perhaps there could be a little more transparency where we are in the process as it moves along.
Right.
But other than that, everything's good. You provide a very good product.
Well, thank you very much for that. And even on a thing, I mean, we were talking about this issue of camera, and I'd like to address it now. So your citizenship process, the CPI process, is taking a little longer than expected. And would you like to talk to us a little bit about, what were some of the things that went wrong, and what would you have done differently? Or if there's a client of ours that is watching who's interested in doing the CBI and everything, would you be in a position to say, hey, you know what, guys, I've done this, but I didn't do these things, or the people that I was working, they've done this, I should have been more careful, or they should have been more careful, or what would be that one advice that would save them time that has costed you?
A squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah.
So you have to stay on top of the people doing that part for you. So if you're with the home office attorneys or third-party attorneys, that kind of thing, just call them all the time and don't worry about bothering them. So I think that was probably on my side, is that I didn't push them hard enough or as much, and I figured they'll get to it when they get to it. And then it just became a little bit longer. And when we inquired, it turns out that some form wasn't sent from one person to another. And apparently they have that all sorted out already. And 2 weeks, should be 2 weeks, and we'll be fine.
Hopefully. And during this process of you following up with the attorneys, and your CBI is taking longer than expected, do you think you have been provided enough support from the property Turkey side?
On the property Turkey side, yes. I know that Basel would, whenever I asked him a question, he said, "Let me run down to the attorney's office and find out." So he was always on top of things, and I appreciated that.
Right. I mean, from time to time, here's the thing. Here is the root cause of this problem. Since we are not legally able to open up a law company, an attorney company, we always have to work with third-party companies. It could be company X, company Y, company Z. Obviously, these companies have been studied and trusted, and they have dealt with many clients over time and everything. But since these are third-party companies, our reach is somewhat limited to them, although we are the ones who are referring these companies. But after you are done with the process here in Property Turkey, you become their clients now. You pay the money to them. No money changes hands between Property Turkey and the third-party attorneys and everything. So those are the people who are supposed to be doing the follow-up and everything. And if at any time, any place in the process, if somebody drops the ball, the Property Turkey people are always here to sort of help you do that. So it's not always, sunshines and rainbows and perfect processes that take place. I mean, here is an example.
Well, it's happened.
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
mentioned, it's happened to some other people. It's
Right.
a rare thing. It doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
But I'm in good company. We've made our decision. We're very happy with where we are at with our property purchases. It's just going to take a little bit longer before we
Right.
get our CBI, but that's okay. We have our home where we are in the States, and we'd like to also have a home over here.
Right.
And so once that gets settled, then we'll look at doing that.
Sure. John, lastly, talk to me about if I was to be a newbie investor, just thinking about investing in Turkey. I mean,
Do it.
Yeah.
I would say do it. Look, When we first started the process, I spoke to a lot of my friends, and they were like, "You're crazy. You're not going to do this. You're going to do that." But they have a lot of the same goals. And I said, you have to take a chance. You have to strike while the iron's hot. If you don't, you're going to miss out on the opportunity. And then another opportunity will pass you by, and another one and another one. And before you know it, you're going to be defeated and say, I just can't do it now.
Yeah.
So you just have to do it. Scrimp and save, do what you have to do, finance. And whether it's here in Turkey or someplace else, you know, you need to get out there, explore the world, and when you find a place that you like, grab a hold of it.
John, thank you very much for this amazing episode. And thanks for the straight... I mean, the name of the show is Straight Talks,
and
right? We talked about all the good things, and we talked about some of the hiccups on the road, and you were kind enough to provide your experience, because you know there's so much value behind that experience. You spend your own time and effort, and you came here. It's a very, very valuable experience, and it's always great for our audience to hear from people like you rather than people like me, whose vested interest is with Property Turkey, it's by sales, who has to run a company, run a business, and everything. So it's always more objective when these things are coming from you, and I'm really happy that you were able to share, all the hiccups with in an uncensored way.
Well, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. I'm really glad we got to sit down and talk again. It's always a lot of fun.
Right.
And if I could ever do anything else for you guys, just let me know.
Well, when you come in here next time, I would definitely like to, sit down and have that conversation, because by that time you will probably receive your citizenship.
Probably, yeah. That would be nice.
John, thank you for joining for this episode. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please don't forget to leave it a comment and write in through this WhatsApp number. You can always reach us. And again, thank you very much for being a loyal subscriber and follower of the show. I love you very, very much, and I want you to keep on following us and stay tuned for more great episodes.
Buy crypto.
Bye.
Buy crypto.
Buy crypto. Cool.